what the administration's thinking in terms of our transatlantic partnership. Russia, I would think, Mr. Smith, you would agree, is our adversary, correct?
Russia is certainly the principal challenge that we face in Europe.
And so I want to repeat remarks that were made by Secretary of Defense, it's Defense, by the way, Hegseth, on December 6 in 2025 when he said, model allies that step up like Israel, South Korea, Poland, increasingly Germany and the Baltics and others will receive our special favor, end quotes. You've reiterated that today, I think. 5% of their GDP, of course, is now dedicated to the defense. They've provided over, I think, 13 to 15% of funding for Ukraine. And the Baltics are punching above their weight. But the administration has recently indicated that they're indefinitely delaying shipments, weapon shipments to the Baltic states. Can you explain to me, Mr. Smith, why these delays are consistent, why Secretary Hegseth's commitment to provide model allies like the Baltics, this administration's special favor?
We are continuing to provide and deliver on munitions contracted by these critical allies. In some cases, there are certain munitions, ammunition and certain munitions that we are unable to provide.
Could you provide the committee with an update in terms of where we are in that commitment and potential shipments? I know obviously this war in Iran has probably had an impact.
Subscribe, God bless you. Welcome back, fellow patriots. This is America Truth Channel, where we cut through the leftist nonsense, defend strong national defense, and fight for America first every single day. Today, we're reacting to a ridiculous moment from the House Foreign Affairs Committee where California Democrat Representative Jim Costa feels the need to lecture a Trump administration official about the name of the Pentagon. The official referred to it as the Department of War, which, let's be honest, is a lot more accurate historically, and Costa jumps in to correct him. It's the Department of Defense until Congress changes the name. Oh boy, here we go with the Democrat word games again. Listen to this, patriots. Costa is acting like calling the Pentagon the Department of War is some kind of dangerous slip-up or imaginary illusion. This is peak Democrat pedantry, obsessing over names and optics while ignoring the actual strength and mission of our military. Patriots, let's call this what it is: petty political theater. The Department of Defense was renamed from the Department of War after World War II to sound less aggressive during the Cold War. But everyone with common sense knows the Pentagon's primary job is to prepare for and win wars when necessary. It's the headquarters of the most powerful fighting force in human history. As a right-wing patriot who believes in peace through strength, a robust military, and no apologies for American power, my honest opinion is this.
California, Mr. Costa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I'm pleased that we're having this hearing today. I hope that we will have more focusing on not only the Baltic states, but Ukraine. It's long overdue, and it's appropriate and fitting that we focus our attention because I think the Baltic states are model allies. I'm not sure the administration always reflects it that way. Supporting the Baltic states means supporting, I think, Ukraine, and I think your comments so far this morning confirms that, if I hear you clearly, Mr. Smith. And I want to thank you. The first time we met, I think I was at a Yalta economic security meeting back in Kiev, and I want to thank you for your service to our country. My colleagues, I think, are talking about the observations that we need to have this hearing. It's pleasing to see all of the ambassadors from the Baltic states here this morning. You're representing your countries and you're representing the best interests of democratic nations across the country, across the world, excuse me. I'm sometimes misguided or can't understand what the administration's thinking in terms of our transatlantic partnership. Russia, I would think, Mr. Smith, you would agree, is our adversary, correct?
Russia is certainly the principal challenge that we face in Europe.
And so I want to repeat remarks that were made by Secretary of Defense, it's Defense, by the way, Hegseth, on December 6 in 2025 when he said, model allies that step up like Israel, South Korea, Poland, increasingly Germany and the Baltics and others will receive our special favor, end quotes. You've reiterated that today, I think. 5% of their GDP, of course, is now dedicated to the defense. They've provided over, I think, 13 to 15% of funding for Ukraine, and the Baltics are punching above their weight. But the administration has recently indicated that they're indefinitely delaying shipments, weapon shipments to the Baltic states. Can you explain to me, Mr. Smith, why these delays are consistent, why Secretary Hegseth's commitment to provide model allies like the Baltics, this administration's special favor?
We are continuing to provide and deliver on munitions contracted by these critical allies. In some cases, there are certain munitions, ammunition and certain munitions that we are unable to provide.
Could you provide the committee with an update in terms of where we are in that commitment and potential shipments? I know obviously this war in Iran has probably had an impact. Can you confirm that these contracts are just delayed, or are you aware that these contracts are being canceled?
I would have to defer to the Pentagon on the specifics of each contract. We
okay,
have
Mr. Smith, I understand that. They may refer to the Pentagon. Mr. Chairman, I think we need to find out from the Pentagon whether they're delayed or whether they're canceled. Do you think troops that are supposed to be moved out of Germany, if that's still the case, would be placed in Romania or Poland or somewhere else in the eastern flank?
I would defer to the Department of War and the Joint Staff on the specific deployment.
I'm sorry, Mr. Smith. It's the Department of Defense. Until Congress changes the name of the department or the agencies, it remains the Department of Defense. I don't care whatever imaginary, illusionary thoughts that some of my colleagues may have. It's the law. Is a weakened Russia in the U.S. national interest, and how would Ukraine victory against Russia invasion impact Putin's thinking toward the Baltics?
We view the security contingencies created by the war as being a major threat to European security. It's why we have dedicated our efforts to negotiating a solution, an end to this war, a comprehensive and lasting settlement.
And while NATO certainly is, and I think I'll give the administration some credit, I think there's a direct movement, Germany 5% to defense spending. I think we see a whole change that's been actually pursued by not only this administration, but previous administrations. In that vein, NATO, I think, is responsible for largely the longest peacetime period in Europe post-World War II in 1,000 years. Would you not agree?
I would agree.
Finally, the Baltic Security Initiative. Can you outline specific activities in the $200 million appropriated under fiscal year 26 being used to fund and how it contributes to Baltic security and our own security?
Over many years, the Baltic Security Initiative has helped these allies field new capabilities. It's also persuaded them to choose U.S. capabilities as enduring sources for their military over and for the future.
And my time's expired, but I do believe that Europe is realizing not only the need to make their commitment for their own defense, but build capacity, as we have to look at our own capacity to increase for our needs for our defense. Would you not agree?
Very true, sir.
Thank you.
I now recognize the representative.
The official was speaking truth. We don't have a Department of Defense just to defend. We maintain overwhelming military superiority so that no enemy dares attack us or our allies. Calling it the Department of War is refreshingly honest and reminds us of the serious purpose of our armed forces. Representative Jim Costa's interruption was classic leftist deflection. Instead of focusing on real issues like supporting our troops, securing the border, countering China, or ensuring our military is ready, Democrats want to police language and score cheap points. This is the same party that renamed buildings, defunded police, and pushed woke ideology into the military, all while our recruitment numbers tanked. Here's the deeper point, patriots. Strength isn't achieved by pretending war doesn't exist or by softening names. Ronald Reagan called the Soviet Union the evil empire and built up our military to win the Cold War without firing a shot. Weakness invites aggression. When our adversaries hear hesitation or political correctness from Washington, they get bolder, whether it's Russia in Ukraine, China in the South China Sea, or Iran in the Middle East. The Trump administration is right to focus on lethality, readiness, and results. Our military should be feared and respected, not turned into a social experiment. Costa and his colleagues had years under Biden to support the troops, yet we saw recruitment crises, equipment shortages, and disastrous retreats. Now, they want to nitpick terminology? Real national security means prioritizing war-fighting capability over diversity quotas, ensuring our troops have the best training and equipment, maintaining overwhelming conventional and nuclear strength, rejecting endless nation-building while our own border is invaded. This hearing moment is small, but it reveals a big truth. Democrats are more concerned with controlling language than with American strength. Patriots, if you're tired of radical Democrats like Jim Costa playing word games while our military needs real support and focus, smash that like button right now. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more no-nonsense America First content. Drop your comment below. Should we call it the Department of Defense or the Department of War? Do you support a strong, lethal military that deeds our enemies? Share this video with every patriot, every veteran, and every American who understands peace comes through strength. We stand for the strongest military on earth, secure borders, energy dominance, and a government that puts American power and American citizens first. God bless our troops. God bless President Trump for restoring strength, and God bless the United States of America. I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong and stay vigilant, patriots.